Good morning, traders, and welcome to the start to finish. I don't know if it'll be the wrap up today or not, but continuation of the eBay earnings calendar trade. So as you will recall, and I'm going to go ahead and put on my drawing tools here, but as you will recall, last week I found what I consider to be an excellent entry into an earnings trade. And in the eBay earnings trade, basically, I was able to come in and sell, in this case, the 39 strike puts for $1.65. And I was able to then buy further out long puts for $1.71. Now, the difference between those two basically allowed me to enter this calendar for 6 cents per calendar. That means I've got $6 in risk per calendar that I entered. Now, in this particular case, I ended up entering 10 of them. So I have essentially $60 in risk. But you can see that I have a pretty good tent here that has a fair amount of potential profit in it. Now, I'm never looking to attain that full potential profit. In order for that to happen, this thing would need to expire exactly at $39 next Friday, because our short expiration isn't this Friday, it's next Friday. And the reason it's next Friday is because that's where I got the most favorable entry price. Not sure why that was, but it was. So this trade is not maybe even going to close out this week. But the combination of these two, again, I paid 6 cents. So I personally have an order setting out there right now waiting to close half of them at 12 cents. I don't know if that's going to hit this morning or not. One of the things that we're going to watch is on the open. I'm going to be, I'll have the platform open here. On the open, we're going to see that this tent is going to shrink up considerably. That's what happens after the volatility in this whole thing drops out. And that volatility, of course, drops out because the earnings took place last night. And after those earnings get announced, there's no more, or a lot less, shall we say, uncertainty in the market, volatility in the market, and that's going to cause this tent to shrink considerably. But let's just take a look and see. So this is what eBay did, okay? So this was last night, right after the close. They had their earnings announcement, and eBay plummeted, and then it continued to sell off here in the after hours to now it's down to $37.25. So that's not going to be ideal for this trade. That's going to be more of a sell-off than what is going to work for us right now. So we could be looking at, or I could be looking at, a full potential loss on this trade. But again, I don't have to close anything until next Friday. So yes, I could be down $60 out of the gate here. It might actually even show as a larger loss. It won't be, but it could show as a larger loss because the bid-ask spreads, we can see bid-ask spreads here. I mean, they can get fairly wide. Now, these are not legitimate bid-ask spreads right now because our market isn't even open yet. But once it opens, we can see those bid-ask spreads get wide, and it could even potentially show that the loss is greater than $60 in this trade. But if it shows that really doesn't mean anything. I just simply wait until next Friday, and then I close the trade out then, and it should be right in that general area. So I'm going to pause here. We're going to see what happens on the open, how this thing reacts, see if I might potentially be able to get out of half of these for 12 cents. If I can, of course, that's a double my money. If I do fill on that, I may choose to sell a little bit more. Excuse me. I may also choose to hang on to a small portion, waiting until next week to see if eBay might potentially rally and put me back more toward the center of this tent for a larger potential profit. So anyhow, we'll see how everything plays out here shortly. I'm going to pause now, and I'll be back upon the opening bell. Okay, so here we are about 30 seconds before the open, and eBay is continuing to show its weakness here this morning. So I'm going to come over here to our P&L diagram, and we're going to take a look and see how this reacts on the open. Again, it's not going to react instantly the second the market opens, because the market maker will have to open up their desk and start trading this. But once they do start doing that, my expectation is that we are going to see this tent, shrink considerably. It's going to come in probably more along those lines. And then we'll have to, there's the opening bell. So again, we'll watch here a second. We can see right now that our break-evens are theoretically, out here around 36 and, somewhere up here. Well, you can see that just dropped massively. Our tent just shrunk considerably. Oh, let me turn off the drawing tool so I can move this over a little bit. And so that's where we're at right now. And this is showing right now approximately a $37, $38 loss. And see how it just jumped to 140. That's a result of that wide bid-ask spread that sometimes can happen in these trades. So, and now we just show, look how crazy this is. That would be awesome if I were to be able to get some sort of a fill out there. But that also is not going to be a real number at this point. That's going to be a result of a wide bid-ask spread. I personally have an order out there, again, waiting to close a portion of my position at 12 cents. I'm hoping that through some of this gyration here this morning that might possibly hit, but I haven't heard any order go off as of yet, so I don't think it's hit as of yet. If we look here at eBay, okay, so eBay's showing a little bit of a bounce right here. If it were to bounce up here into this, 38.5 range or so, that could be awesome. I could get a potential fill. I'm going to pause here and just look at my order and see if my order is showing any favorability right now. Okay, yeah, so you can see on my order here at the very top of my page, I've got a number of other orders out here. Let me put my drawing tool back on. So you can see right up here, I've got my order out there at 12 cents. It's currently trading right around a nickel. So I'm not going to get filled with eBay where it is right now. However, if eBay were to do a bit of a rally, and get up here into this 38.5, 39 range. And I've got until, again, next Friday. So my good till cancel order is just going to set out there. And my expectation is that if eBay does continue to move up here a little bit, that I will, in fact, end up getting a fill sometime in maybe the next week, maybe by later this week, if we do, in fact, continue to get this rally. Okay, so one additional thing I wanted to take a moment to share here before I sign off on this particular trade is I wanted to specifically note that this is my entry here. This is where the market was trading. I paid 6 cents to get into this calendar. Over here is a snapshot of pricing that I just took. Now, because the puts were short these puts, they have increased in value because, of course, this is a 39 put and we're trading all the way down at 37.5. So those puts are going to go up in value, which is bad for me because I am short those puts. These, on the other hand, are long puts. Those long puts have gone up in value as well. They've gone up from, roughly, call it 90 cents or something like that is what they were showing here this morning before the open. They've gone up to $1.23 to $1.63. So they've gone up quite a bit also, but they haven't gone up proportionally as much as what these have. And that's why this position is at a slight loss right now. When I say a slight loss, I mean it's at literally, a $10 loss for the 10 lot. Now, the other thing that you need to notice here is look how wide the bid-ask spread is. So we're looking at $1.18 to $1.61. That's a 45-cent bid-ask spread, where when we bought this, our bid-ask spread was 2 cents. Same thing down here. We're looking at roughly a 40-cent wide bid-ask spread, where back when we bought these, well, actually, these aren't the prices from when we bought them, by the way. These were this morning's prices. But back when we bought these, the bid-ask spreads were very tight. So at the end of the day, that's part of the challenge that we're faced with now, is that the bid-asks are very wide. That's why I always like to just put an order out there, let it sit, because as the market kind of bounces around through this wide bid-ask spread, well, maybe I'll get taken out at a favorable price, at a price that I'm wanting to fill at. So that's my goal, or my objective here, is to have my order setting out there and, kind of see what happens on that order. Let me just flip back here, and I'll come to my monitor tab. Let me turn off my drawing and come to my monitor tab, and see we're up at 7 cents now. So actually there's a little profit in this right now if I were to get filled at 7 cents. Again, I'm kind of holding out, hoping that, I'll get around 12 cents. But I could maybe put an order out there right now for, 7, 8, 9 cents and pick up a couple of bucks. It's not going to be enough to really even pay my commissions at that point, but it could keep me from ending up in a loss position in this trade. That's a possibility. So let's just look at the chart here real quick and see, so eBay's trying to bounce back. If it could break above this, this what might be perceived as a little bit of a resistance area here, because it's bounced up and sold off that 3, 4, 5 times. If it can bust through there, I would anticipate that it would not have a problem getting back up into the 39 range. So that's what I'm hoping for over the next few days, maybe even next Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in that general range. So again, I have time on this trade because it does not expire. My short does not expire until next week. Next Friday. So right now, I just have a GTC order out there, good till cancel order, selling half my position at 12 cents. If that happens, I will have doubled my money on half of my trade. I entered 20 of them personally, so I'll have doubled my money on half of those, and then I'll set a new order based on where the market is, based on my anticipation of the market. Maybe it'll be also at 12 cents. More likely than not, if we do get a rebound up into this area somewhere, I will likely put a much higher price on that, maybe a 30 cent or something along those lines, to where I might quadruple my money on that small piece of that trade. So that's going to be my personal plan or objective for this. As always, please like, subscribe, give me any comments. And once I do get a fill on this, I'll drop a note in there as well and just kind of update people on that outcome. So that's it for right now. Take care, everyone.